Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know we have the Sinister Six cart right here, guys, right in front of you guys. It's still around $500. Still around $500. The six essentially best-selling cards from the tins, the chase cards here. You know, playsets of each. You know, we have Little Knight, Impulses, Purulias, Fuwaloses, Purges, you name it, Imperms. All here, at least playsets of each, in this case from different sellers, but they come out to be the same price. A couple of these cards only have a couple listings at these current prices, and then they will bump up a couple of dollars. We're gonna actually go in to each and every one of these cards, so it really hasn't changed much, guys. I mean, going back, the lowest was what, like 480 something. The highest was like 5 and some change, but the range has been between like 480s and 510s, give or take. So like a $30 range, which is considerable. But if you're already making a $500 purchase, I mean, there's nothing too crazy per se. So at this stage and age, until we get an announcement of a Rarity Collection 5, which we have been speculating that can come anywhere between late this month and early next month at Anaheim, if it ever happens. We're just speculating. A lot of people, Jay, we're not going to get a Rarity 5. You know, they're not going to do that, this and that. I think they are. I think they are. I think we're going to get more Boomer reprints. I think we're going to get more Starlights in a Rarity Collection 5 coming out later this year. That's just my thought process. We'll see if it happens. It might not. I'm not Konami, you feel me? But I'm just speculating here. If that is the case, I think some of these cards can get reprinted. And you know, the ones that already have their rarity treatments can get alternate arts. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But until that possibility happens, until then, I believe these cards can only go on up in price here moving forward. Because you need to understand, the tins came out 2 weeks ago already. We already had the initial rush. You know, some of these cards continue to sink in price, but, you know, becoming very, very cheap. And there's some V-shaped recoveries. There's cards that have retained value. There's cards that have gone up in price. We're going to cover all of these cards because our last 10 video was on Monday. Crazy. So now, latter part of the week here on Friday, we're going to actually, happy Friday, by the way, come in here and just double check the tins and what the price is, because it's 2 weeks, guys. It's already 2 weeks. We were just waiting for this tin to come out. Crazy. We were just waiting, and now it's been half a month since it came out already. Insane. 15 bones for these tuck boxes here. They used to be 12s and some change here, the lows, 38 listings. So if you feel like gambling per se, cracking a couple of these open or whatever, I mean, I don't think sealed is worth it. You know, I already opened a full case on the channel about 2 weeks ago, and you guys saw how that went. So do as you must. But yeah, overall, guys, you know, this Sinister Six cart challenge, it was pretty fun. I don't think we need to continue per se. I think it only goes up from here. So, you know, the last call when it comes to this, we've shown this little experiment to show. In this case, with the tins, most of these are prismatics. They just have terrible pull rates. They're really scarce. I mean, not to say that most of you guys would need playsets of these. And, you know, probably you guys already have these cards. But if you don't, if you need these cards, the gist of it is to come in and just pick up what you need. If you need these cards to play, if you're going to YCS Anaheim, if you're going to your local region, or if you're going to your locals and you waited 2 weeks in, patience wins this game. With the Sinister Six in itself, you know, it's maintained price essentially. Most other cards have been getting destroyed in value, so that's the good part. But with the best-selling chase cards, if you need them, you get them. Most of you probably already did. But if you haven't, if you've been on the sideline, if you've been just waiting to see how things pan out, giving it a week or two, 2 weeks are already gone. I would be coming in, just paying the prices I see in front of me. Yeah, for some of these, they have V-shaped recovered. They had lower, you know, initial prices. It is what it is. Now we're playing from a position of strength in the sense of having all the information at hand to make the most educated decision for you guys. So again, we're going to start here off with Dominus Purge. This card, it says 36 bucks. V-shape recovered from 30s to 38s, 36s. Here you have a couple ones in China between $36, $37 essentially, guys. 36 is just one of So again, it's just hovering right under $40, guys. You had a little bit of a retracement back down to the mean. The supply is sinking in, but again, these are prismatic secret rares that everyone needs. People need playsets. I wouldn't be waiting too long. I just wouldn't be waiting much longer. When these were 30s, I made a post on X and then eventually hopped on the channel and said, just pick it up, man. $90 for your playset. Anything under $100 for a playset, you're going to look like a superhero in the future. It's still early. We're 2 weeks in a way, but you don't want to let it keep creeping up. 37s, 40s, 42s, 45s, and then wake up one day and this card is a 50 piece. Just the possibility is there. Is a meta relevant card. It's scarce because it's a prismatic secret rare from the tins. You don't want to sleep on it. That's all I got to say. You don't want to sleep on it. You want to make sure you get exposure. You want to make sure you get access to this card, especially if you need it to play. You know, hopefully you picked it up at around 30s when we were talking about it. But still, 36s is not 50s. So do as you must. You know, take that information with a grain of salt and make sure you get exposure if you need this card. Then we have Dominus Impulse, a card that has gone up in price, was in the 20s, and it just kept going on up and up and up. Why? Because, you know, decks like Pure Mitsu are back in a way, decks that weren't like right before the ban list, no one needed this, and now some decks play this at 3 type of thing. So again, 17 listings only. You have a couple of one-ofs here, and then the card hits a 40 piece at the bottom of the page. So again, we can see it in the chart, clear as day. Checkmark recovery, second leg up status, low listings. When you combine all these factors, it's communicating something to us. And that's the thing. Most people don't know how to interpret the market language. That's what we're here for. And this card is going to be a 40 piece in the short term. And same deal. Don't be surprised if it goes up to a 50 piece. Why? Because before the ban list, yeah, most decks didn't use this card, but now some decks are actually needing this card again. Now the meta relevance is coming in for this card again. So if you need your Dominus cards, you pick them up now. Dominus Spiral around the corner. The J, but Spiral sucks. This and that don't matter. Just having another Dominus. There's people out there, they want them all. They want all the Dominuses. And maybe they were too expensive. Now they've come back down to earth compared to previous all-time highs around 70s for this card, if I'm not mistaken. So do as you must. Anything under 40s at this point will be great. We were talking about this card, you know, as it was going up towards mid 30s. And same deal. We were saying, guys, if you need these cards, you don't want to be the guy paying over $100 for a playset. Literally. That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying. And now, again, 37s is better than 50s. Because right now it's 37s. And a lot of people are like, oh, but the card was 23, 25, and now I'm paying 37s. Yeah, but what was going to happen when it hits 50s? You know, you're going to say, damn, I wish I was paying 37s. And again, it doesn't have to hit 50s. No one knows, right? But we're talking about the charts. We're talking about the demand, the volume. You can see the spikes coming in. The card is scarce. Decks that weren't playing or viable pre-ban list, now post-ban list, are trying to make a claim to the throne. People competing, not just at the top tier, high tier YCS levels, but maybe at a regional level, maybe at a local level. So definitely factors to keep in mind and in consideration. We have Mulcharmy Purulia. Me, if I would need this card, I would come in and slap a 40 piece right now. Why? Because there's no impending reprint or reprint set that could reprint this card for this card as of yet. Now, if a Rarity 5 gets announced, then we start playing with that, you know, expecting a reprint there, and that changes things. But for now, a 40 piece for Purulia, much better than paying 80s, 90s, how it was a month or two ago. I get it. The card, I mean, it still feels expensive. Like, I already moved mine at the Philly Regional. I'm like, I ain't getting 3 of these. I'm just not. You feel me? Like, I just moved mine and we ate. Yeah, that doesn't mean the card can't go up to 50s to 60s and go crazy. Of course it can. It can. It's scarce. It's hard to get. Just as hard to get, it feels, as most of the other copies before this reprint came. I understand. But at the same time, if you needed to play without an impending reprint coming around the corner, then you do as you must. And this flat 40, that's where I would be picking it up. That's just me. Maybe offering a hundo for a playset in person. Not to say that you would get it. But again, now is the time to pick it up. 2 weeks into the product, it's stabilized at 40. Used to be 35s. You know, went up to like 45s. Now it's at 40. You're buying the perfect time. Perfect entry price. You missed the low, you missed the high. Now you're buying the halfway down move. Just beautiful. You can't make this stuff up. Jay, but I want Purulias. When should I be buying, man? We're 2 weeks in. I've been waiting. Should I pull the trigger now? Yes. That doesn't mean it can't go a bit lower into the mid to upper 30s. Yes, it can. Excuse me, guys. It doesn't mean it can't go up to 45, 50s. Yes, it can. But at this time, you gave yourself a couple weeks. You were patient. You waited. You come in. You don't wait no more. You get exposure to the card that you need. I'd be buying this card at 40s. Flat 40s, man. Not 50s. All right? Not even 45. Just a 40 piece. Right here, you have a couple ones and twos, and then you have walls at 40s right there. So beautiful. 40, 41s. I wouldn't let it creep back up to 45, 50s. Guys, the competitive season will be ramping up very, very soon. We have YCSs all around the world. We have regionals. We have locals. People chasing their invites. There's a lot of demand in the markets right now. Don't sleep on these staples. Card is just great. If you're competing right now in Yu-Gi-Oh, you need this card. So don't sleep on it. We have Mulcharmy Purulia. It was 16s, then 17s. Then we come back one day and it's 18s. Don't let this be 19s and then in the 20s. Don't do that. And I'm out here rapping already. You guys got me rapping out here, guys. The T's. That's my new hit single. One hit wonder, man. Yo, guys, 18 bucks right here. 20 listings. Couple ones and two ups. And then the card is a 20 piece at the bottom of the page. So again, don't sleep. Hey, when it was 16, 17s, we were like, guys, pick it up now. Don't let it be a 20-piece McNuggies from Mickey D's. It's not there yet, but it's clearly on its way. You know, the major walls are already there. Man, these Euros probably look man nice. Like, I would be buying these, bro. I could only imagine. But guys, it's too easy. 20 listings only. We've been telling y'all, Fuwalos are going to be money all across the board in the very short term. Each and every single copy of Fuwalos is going to creep back up to 20s and beyond again. Maybe even 25s. In the short to midterm, because of the meta demand. People need it. People need to get access to it. People need their places. A lot of people coming back into Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of people going to these major events. Don't sleep on the Fuwalos. As I expect 20s in the very, very short term and 25s in the midterm, just because the card overall is becoming scarce. And keep in mind, this already had its rarity treatment. So I wonder what's Konami going to do with some of these staples. Like, were they going to reprint them if they already had their rarity treatments and people still need them? You feel me? But we'll see what happens. Very, very interesting. And very sad that they reprint a tin version of it and it's scarce. And that's just terrible. I won't lie. And it's just hard to get, you know. Like, the whole point of reprints throughout Yu-Gi-Oh! History, yeah, there's always been short prints and stuff. We get it. But for the most part, it's readily availableness, accessibility, easier to get. That's the whole point. This ain't easier to get. This card came out and it's just as hard to get as the ones from Rarity Collection, Stampede. Literally. Like, in my humble opinion, reprints should make things more accessible, easier to get at cheaper prices, obviously. And it's sad, but it is what it is. That's the business, I guess, from their angle. We have SP Little Knight. Again, this card little by little. Excuse me, guys. Found a low around 12s. 66 listings. Now it's pushing 14s. And again, then it's going to creep up to 15s. And one day it's going to go to 20, 25, 30. This is the Starlight Rare, man. You guys need to understand, like, the higher end prismatics, like the Platinum Secrets and stuff. Like, Platinum Secrets pushing 25 to 30s from the Rarity Collection. Literally. From Bonanza, if I'm not mistaken. The Platinum Secret Rare was pushing 25 to 30s. What do you think a Starlight is going to do? Eventually, once it dries up. This is the Starlight Rare version of Little Knight. Sure, we can get an alternate art in the future. Anything is possible. But for now, this is the Starlight Rare Little Knight. Anything under 15s, you're going to be a superhero. I already picked up mine around 12s at the Philly Regional, so I'm a happy camper. You know, and shout out to the guy. He said he viewed, viewer of the channel. Probably subscriber on the channel. Always love trading with people, fair trades, things of that nature. And he was like, Jay, I kind of want to keep it, but because it's you, let's go ahead and trade. Why not? And it was fun trade, just trading good value. And I already have my one of. Sure, do I want more of these? Yes, I do. But if it starts creeping up, which I expect, then I'll just let it be and just have my personal copy. And the card looks beautiful. So don't take it for granted. We're 2 weeks in, boys. 2 weeks in already. Just wanted to give this kind of warning in the sense, like, get what you need from the tins. That doesn't mean they can't go lower or higher for that matter. Things change, prices always fluctuate, there's always volatility. But now we're 2 weeks in. It's like the perfect time to start getting more exposure to things that you really need. You feel me? When was it? Today's what, Friday? Yeah, like earlier, like a day or two ago, I came in and I started buying a bunch of penny stocks, literally from the tins already. I'm like, we're close to 2 weeks in. These cards are too cheap. You know, for example, I was buying like Red Eye Slash Dragon. That's even the name, I think so. I bought like an RO9. Someone random seller had it at like 85 cents. I'm like, sure, let me get the RO9. Why? Because like we said, I think it was Monday or the tin market watch before that. That's where the true money is, guys. And random reprints that have their very niche community that will always have that little volume, little chipping away at it. And then the card a year from now becomes scarce. And then a dollar card becomes 5 to 10s, man. Of course, you're like, damn, you had to wait a year. Yeah, just let it marinate like fine wine. It's like, it's too easy. They tell you, yo, in a year, you could 10x your money. It doesn't matter how little you put in it. Hey, if 10 can become 100, we'll take it, man. We'll take it. So again, Little Knight right here, part of the Sinister Six, high in demand. Don't sleep on it. It is the time to get exposure to the tins now. I already started. And then once we go to Anaheim, I'll be trading, looking for tin stuff. Literally, like that's going to be my main focus of YCS Anaheim and probably even YCS Pittsburgh is picking up tin parts, cards here for the rest of this calendar year. Just picking it up. Then we'll probably get into next year, early next year. We'll look forward to the next reprint set or the next Rarity Collection 5, either at the end of this year or early next, and then move on to the next reprint set. But right now, no better time to start getting access to the tins. In my humble opinion, we have Infinite Impermanence. The last one of the Sinister Six card was 15s. I have a couple one-ofs in the 18s right here. Supply coming back in. But again, if you can get this card anywhere between 15 to 20s, you're going to be like a superhero in the future. Once it starts hitting 30s, 40s, who knows if even 50s. There's a Starlight Rare behind the tins, a staple like this. It might age very, very well. So if you need these, again, the goal should be $50 a place. $50 a place. That's the max you want to pay. Maybe get a deal in person, but this is the staples of staples. Make sure you don't sleep on the Imperm. Guys, link in the description down below. Make sure you fast track each and every single card that we will be talking about today at your convenience. If you need to purchase any of these, you can come over here and do it. Just pretty easy peasy, man. Right here, all in one place. You can analyze each card, their prices, their charts before making your decision, all at your convenience. First link in the description down below. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video on the way in as we continue to grow, as we continue to positively impact people's lives, and you can stay informed for the next spike or dump occurring in the markets. Make sure you take that value, home with yourself by subscribing so you don't miss the next major move, the next major plays. Guys, we have the black gold laughs. I think this is pretty cheap compared to the fact that this card was 30 to 35s before it got reprinted for the OG version, and now you have single prints here at $8. You don't have that many. You actually here making an all-time low as of recently, the chart as well. You don't have that many before it goes right back up to $10. So this is a card, again, we've been saying this since it came out. $10, play set for 10s is $30. You want to get it for 25s in person if that's possible to you, locals, regional, or an event that you go to. Get exposure to this card. This is a card that you see at single digits today, and it could be a $20 card. It can't. Yeah, it just came out. The supplies are going to keep coming in. There's still people cracking open tins or tuck boxes, and they're coming in. They're pulling this, listing this over here. We understand. But we're in week 2 now, then week 3, then a month goes by, then 2 months go by, and then all of a sudden, this card is just as hard to get as the OG, and then it becomes a 15 to 20 piece, and people act surprised. Nah, man, this is free money. If you can pick up this card, add it to your trade binder, or to your investment binder, keep it away, and you're going to eat good. You're going to eat good. And it won't take too long either. With cards like these, excuse me, guys, in a month or two, I'm telling you, 15 to 20s, easy peasy. No one would be surprised just because of the meta demand. A card that a lot of people have always wanted. Now I got a cheaper print. Volume has stayed consistent. Don't sleep on the black gold laughs. Then we have Nightmare Apprentice again. Look, oh my man, look at this chart. Look at this. This is a beautiful chart, man. Bro, we've been telling you guys, pick up this card. At sub $5, Nightmare Apprentice. We've been saying they're gonna get the new Illusion deck support. This is free money. This is going to be double digits. And look at it already. 43 listings. Yes, you have walls of China still, but now the walls are at 528s. No longer at threes and some change, fours. No, now it's at fives. Little by little, this is going to be double digits, guys. We cleaned this up janitor style. We can see the clear recovery off the lows. Beautiful booty shape recovery right here. And on the 1 month, a beautiful chart, man. Wow, I need to draw. Hey, art class with Jay, I need to draw this, man. I need to. Excuse me, guys. I just need to. I'm sorry. Look at that, guys. Look at this beautiful chart. Look at that. We have a low right here. Beautiful. You know, we could mark it right here. And then we have a second low, which we can mark like this. Actually connect these dots right here. Oh, man. Right there. Look at that. Let's connect the dot. Hey, we're playing out here. Connect 4, guys. Right there. Beautiful in conjunction. We have this second low right here. A higher low, guys. A higher low. We had a high, which was right. Oh, beautiful, man. We had the first high. And now what we're doing, we're trying to break that pivot high, and it will confirm the uptrend off the lows. The trend is your friend until the end. Guys, double bottom, booty shape recovery with a higher low heading into resistance. Once we break the $5 mark, five and some change, we're going to start running, guys. It's going to go to 750s and then go to 10s. Men lie, women lie. The charts don't lie. It's all in the charts. It's literally telling us, guys, that this card is going to be $7, 750s, and then a $10 card, double digits, just like we've predicted here time after time after time. It's not creating hype. It's not FOMO. It's not, yo, you should buy this willy-nilly because I'm telling you to. It's not even about me. I'm relaying the information of the charts because men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. Always sink this in your brain. If you're listening to my voice, it's always about math. It's always about probabilities. It's always about the charts. Numbers don't lie. Facts, data, evidence, statistics. It's not willy-nilly what I think. And this doesn't guarantee it 100%. Nothing does. Nothing will. No one knows, right? But it gives you the best shot. And that's what we live here. We live with the results by giving ourselves the best shot, the best probabilities to win. To pick up a card at $3, $4, $5, watch it go up to 750s, watch it go up to 10s, watching it go up to 12s, and then, oh man, the illusion this and the illusion that coming out and the new support and this and that and the third, this is $15, man. And then people act surprised when this sub $5 card becomes 15s one day and is up over 3x. And we've been saying it time after time. Now we're week 2, then week 3 comes by, then month 1, then month 2, and then this card breaches double digits, and then people are late. We're doing this before it happens. Before the move comes, we're telling you, get exposure week after week after week. We're talking about the 10s now. Probably on Monday, I'll come and revisit the 10s again. And in a way, it might seem a little repetitive, but I need to get it into people's brain. In this case, it's Nightmare Apprentice, but it's not really about the card. It's about the lessons. It's about the education, learning how to read a chart that to the masses, it looks like a naked chart, but it's telling us what to do. The patterns here, essentially. It's telling us what is the best shot of you either saving or making money, all via the charts, man. I'm sorry. Sometimes I go on these mini rants and stuff. I'm enamored with the charts because it helps you win, man. It helps you win. It does time and time and time again. Yo, we have 2.5 years doing this, bro. 2.5 years. One of these days, early next year, we're going to be pushing 3 years. It's not willy-nilly. It's not a one-off thing. It works. People, yo, Jay, come up to me all the time. Thank you, man. I've saved money. Thanks to you, I made money. Sure. Do I make some calls that don't pay? Of course. No one's perfect. I don't claim to be, but we win more than we lose. I can assure you that. And we win way more than we lose. So again, that is the whole point. You want to win more than you lose in life. That's about it, man. Because we're all going to lose at some point. You feel me? But hey, if you play 10 times, you got to at least win 7 to 8. You feel me? And that is the mindset that we have here at the Fresh Off the Press community. So if you're new here, you're going to make sure you subscribe so you can't miss out the next move, the next play. We have Prime My Lordly Load. Again, this card, easy peasy, $10. Look at that. All-time lows right here at around 10s. Beautiful. The walls, I mean, these are one-off deals, but it's around 10, 11 bucks, 41 listings. No excuse for people to come crying later on are whining, yo, loads are too expensive, man. They've been 10 forever. Again, this is another one that you want to come in, play set for 25s. That's your goal. Maybe in person, do as you must. But if you have to come in and pay 30s plus tax, then it's still cheaper for a card that was 30s for one just the other day. And then it came down to 20s and now it's $10. Beautiful, 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 guys. You don't want to miss out on this card. It's still scarce. It's more scarce than people are giving it credit for. There's still Blue Eye Primite players out there. Maybe they want to upgrade to this rarity, or maybe they want to finally play Blue Eyes Primite because it's cheaper to them now. Don't sleep on the Primite engine. You never know if it gets more support down the line as well. Definitely a great time to get exposure to the Lordly Load. Then we have Dragon Gate. This card is actually one of the cards that have V-Shape recovered into an all-time high, guys. Strong price action here. Card was $1 and some change. It says 250s. We're at $4. Wow. 19 listings. If I'm not mistaken, I think I pulled one of these. If I did, I'm glad I have my one of. I really wanted to invest into this more. Yeah, unfortunately, this is one that has V-Shape recovered. It's pushing fours. There is massive walls of China. The card was $1 and some change. No one really cared about this one. I don't know if it's because it's actually being used or gonna be used in the future. But people are coming for the single prints of the tins this year. Like this card. Where's Bot Herder? Bot Herder's around here. Let me just pull it right here. Might as well. And then where's the Queen as well? So again, people have been coming for the single prints of this year's tins more aggressively early on. So Dragon Gate is pushing $4. If you have this, you have an extra couple of abilities that you probably didn't have. Overall, we were saying that is a great card to keep in mind as a single print when no one was paying attention to it. I wasn't able to actually pick up a couple of these as I would have liked, if I'm not mistaken, but hopefully you guys did. And if you didn't, now the card is $4. That's crazy. And again, we have Bot Herder. This card, we recently covered the spike from 2 to 7s, and now the card is around 680, 6 and some change, 36 listings. You do have massive walls of China, but this is a massive U-shaped recovery right here. Yeah, Bot Herder, man. Not too much else to say. It actually has maintained the elevated price after spiking up from the low. So hopefully we get a retracement back down to the mean. In this case, the card was 2s, it went up to 7/8. The mean should be around 2 and 8, maybe 4 or 5 bucks. Like that's where you want to get, man. The retracement back down to the mean move. You want to get it at around 4 or 5 bucks if you really need it. You missed out on the $2 play, but you didn't buy the $7 to $8 tops. So 4 to 5s would be that perfect re-entry price for this card. One to keep in mind. And we have Queen of the Blazing Domain. This card spiked up from the lows, went from 4s, says 1168s, but it was a $15 card last time we covered it. Now it's 1050s right here, 37 listings for this card. The supply has come in. A lot of people have this card and they're like, yo, this is too expensive, let's take profits. Now it's coming back down to 10s, but I think it's gonna hold that $9-10ish mark. 2x from the lows is gonna hold that move most likely before in the future just getting more and more scarce and maybe bouncing back up to the highs. We'll continue to monitor this one, but right now the move is still not done. There's still a lot of demand, a rush coming in, guys. 37 listings. The card is harder to get that people gave it credit for. Hopefully you picked it up at 4s when we were talking about it. Now the card is 10s, and we'll continue to monitor this one. Then we have Fiendsmith's Track. This card has actually been, crashing down from the highs, guys. Card was $9. It did over 2x in price. Some people came in and paid in the 20s and 30s. I moved mine at around 25 if I'm not mistaken at the Philly Regional. When it was around 25 bucks, just traded it away. And now the card is back down to 18s, 49 listings. We'll see. I mean, it essentially quickly goes back up towards 20s. But yeah, the card 2x in price, and it's just hovering here, just waiting to see how Fiendsmith works or does in like the upcoming YCSs and things of that nature. So we'll see. Right now 18s, like if you need it, it's hard when the card was $9-10 bucks, but it's much better than paying 25 to 30s. We'll continue to monitor this one to see. The card is scarce, hard to get, and yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. We have Lacrima the Crimson Tears. This card was 15s recently, and again, just crashing right back down to 10 bucks. 50 listings here. The walls of China are coming in, and yeah, man, $5. I'm sorry, 5 pages right here. You have a couple listings with a lot of quantities there, but it's one if you need it. Same deal. You want to get it for 25s in person. It had a massive spike, now retracing back down. But, you know, this engine should still age well with no further reprints coming anytime soon. And the engine still needed, you know, for rogue decks, things of that nature. So definitely these Fiendsmith cards are in a pretty interesting place right now. I might as well talk about Requiem right here. Card is $5. You know, not bad. 68 listings. If you need it, you just pick it up, man. You just pick it up. Don't let this card at one point maybe go to double digits in the future, depending on how hot the Fiendsmith engine can get. These all three Fiendsmith cards I talked about, they're all prismatic secret rares. They're all prismatic secret rares. What does that mean? That they're hard to get, that they're scarce, terrible pull rates. So don't take these for granted at 5s. If you need it, just pick up your engine. Might as well pick up Requiem. Don't forget about this piece at $5. Not bad at all. And here we have the Bystial package, guys. Bystial Druid's Worm, guys, here. Again, $5. Starting to see the little curvature off the lows. And if you go to the 1 month, just beautiful, beautiful. Look at this W forming here. No one's paying attention to this with volume, a volume surge as well. This is going to be money, guys. Excuse me, guys. Again, as a Starlight rare, I expect this to be 750s in the short term, probably 10s and beyond, double digits in the midterm. What is short term, Jay? Maybe in the next couple days, maybe week here, week there. Midterm is like 2 weeks and beyond, heading into the next month, guys. So again, this card is going to move. It's still a one-of, we understand, but it is the Starlight rare version, and even as a one-of, people wanted this card. I mean, this is as cheap as the card has ever been. For a max rarity version, it makes sense that it would creep back up to 750s and eventually double digits with time. So again, we're going to keep talking about this one at around $5. Easy money down the line. I don't even know what else to say. You see a card like this, you need it, you want to invest into it, you pick it up. It's that easy. We have Magnum Mutt. It's same deal. Look, the card, you go to the 1 month, has been 378s, and now it's around 4s and changes, almost pushing 5s, 59 listings. No excuse for people, for you guys, for me, for anyone to not have at least their one-ofs. Your one Magnum Mutt, your one Druid's Worm, just access to your Bystial package, to your Bystial engine. No excuse. And then other than that, if you want to pick up a couple more as investments, why not? Right now is not, you know, readily available in the sense of, in the sense of utility, is not being used, you know, as heavily as it has been in past formats, we understand. But Bystials, they're great. You want to get exposure to them, especially in their max rarity form, this cheap compared to previous prices before the reprint. You want to get exposure to Druid's Worm, to Magnum Mutt, and even Baldrake. Again, one of the lesser used Bystials, but you want to pick it up. And then we have Saronir here as well as an ultra rare. So for Baldrake as a Starlight, card was 340s right here, as low as almost 3s, and now you have a couple here and there at around 385. So anything sub 4s and eventually sub 5s is great for Baldrake. Just get your playset. Get your playset at around $10 for a playset. You trade for it, you know, get access to it. You never know if and when you'll need it, especially for a Starlight rare that probably is going to be over $5 in the mid-term. And then you do have Saronir, like we mentioned. I expect this 50-cent card to hit $1. So you currently have this wall of China here at 57 cents, a couple of them here at under 60 cents. You take advantage of it. If you're already ordering from these walls of China for other cards, just throw yourself a playset in there. It doesn't hurt to be buying a card near 2 quarters when it's going to be 4 quarters and beyond, a billion and beyond. You know, after those walls, it quickly creeps up to 70 cents and then 75 cents, which will be 3 quarters and eventually to a billy. So you want to be going from shekels to billies, buying as cheap as you can. 69 listings, just beautiful penny stocks, man. For a card that was like $8 for the prismatics at one point, you know, and now you have an ultra rare. Yeah, it's shekels, but this one could be a billy, multiple billies down the line. If this card one day is 50 cents and it reaches $2, people are not like, they're gonna be like, yeah, man, it's Saronir. We get it. It's not one of the heavily used Bystials, but it's a Bystial card and it only has 2 prints. Telling you, man, the freest of money right now. Free 99, very cheap cardboard. The easiest money you're gonna make is in here. In the tins, we have Retaliating Sea. Again, this card has V-shape recovered from a billion some change. 32 listings. You have 2 here at 3. You know, you have a wall of China at 368, 369s. Then after that, it starts pushing forward. So if you see these in a binder, if you want to pick a couple of these cards up, not bad at all. The idea was always 10 bucks for a playset at the very least. So do as you must, because this card is actually seeing play. You know, in some side decks, you definitely want to get exposure to it. Anything under 5s, you're going to look like a superhero in the future. So you definitely want to make those considerations. We have Iron Thunder. Recently talked about this one at around 6 bucks. Now it's retracing a tad bit here into the 5s. Once again, 28 listings as the supply comes in. But the card was a buck and some change, man. Crazy, crazy move. Volume candle came in. And if you go to the monthly, you can see here that the card was $1.66. Wow. And it just... insane, 4x'd overnight, and now it's just consolidating up here before deciding to make a move towards the double-digit mark eventually. So just keep it in mind, if you need your Iron Thunders, yes, they already went up 3-4x. It's hard coming in at these prices, but if you need it, I mean, at least you come in now near more closer to 5s than to eventually double digits, which this card can potentially go up there, because that's the thing with some of the staples, the Sinister 6. Like if we have Rarity Collection 5, we expect those cards to have some type of reprint in the new Rarity Collection, right? But there's some cards in the tins that you don't know if they would come in Rarity 5. That is just hard. The fact that they were like single print in the sense of the quarter century and the secret, and now you have like that additional print that was supposed to be more budget, easier to get, super cheap as it was. But then, you know, the scarcity now is hard to get again, and it's rough because you just, with cards like these, you don't know if and when they'll come back, you know, into the reprint cycle. So very, very interesting with regards to this card. Guys, link in the description down below. Come over here, join our Discord and our X, and your free $15 off. You do not want to miss out over there on whatnot. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video on the way in so you guys can stay informed for the next spike, the next dump, you know, to make and save money here with us. So yeah, man, make sure you subscribe. And none of this content is official financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. Then we have 10 alternate arts here that used to have their prismatic secret rare alternate arts that I believe came out in last year's tins, if I'm not mistaken, with Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster, guys. So with Harpy's Feather Duster, the card has been U-shaped, recovering off the lows little by little. Volume has been coming in, 48 listings, and the card is essentially a $4 card now, guys. The card was 250s. You could have gotten 2 of these for 5 bones, and now one copy is pushing 4s already. And pretty soon this can be a $5 card. So hopefully, if you needed it, you have it. I already have my copy, picked it up for very, very cheap. So I'm good in that sense. But if you want to pick it up for yourself or to get a couple of extras, this is another one of them cards that sub $5 should age very, very well into the future if you pick it up, you know, below that price. So not bad, guys, not bad. Volume is coming in strong. The demand is coming in. You definitely want to keep this in mind at around 3s and some change, $4 before eventually it goes to 5s and beyond. And then you do have Raigeki is actually holding that $5 mark strong. You know, 72 listings. So this is one at around $5. Again, that if you feel like you need, you would pick it up. You would pick it up. Alternate art, Starlight Rare. Not bad at all from the tins. Anything at around 5s or below should age very, very well. One that you want to keep on your radar. Then you have Pot of Greed. Again, I'm gonna always be talking about this card because this is an iconic Yu-Gi-Oh card. And it's actually playable in GOAT. So again, Jay, but I don't play boomer formats. I'm not a GOAT player. That's fine. You come in here, you get exposure, and then this card is double digits one day, and you're gonna be eating good, selling to them GOAT Billy Bobs. And it's all about making that bread, you know, saving your bread. If you're like me, where I actually play GOAT and it's my favorite format, and I love reprints like these, or even if you don't play those formats, you sell to, you know, my Billy Bob friends. Nah, when they come too late. 95 listings, you have a place at 4. It's not bad if you don't own the card yet, but essentially the card is 464s. Anything under 5s should age very, very well into the future, because most of the masses, most of the people cracking tins, yes, there's some people like me with nostalgia and things of that nature, but most people, they pull this, they don't care about it. They just don't care about it. They don't have any emotional attachment to it. They just see, oh, the card is banned, I can't use it, I'm gonna get rid of it. So that's when you pick it up, you know, because I believe this card eventually is going to get scarce. It's too of an iconic card with a higher rarity to just be at under $5. Like even under double digits in the future. Like, no way, no how. I'm picking these up, as many of these as I can, because I really love GOAT. It's my favorite format. I'm a boomer at heart, and you know, it's like one of the most iconic Yu-Gi-Oh cards, man. Just look at that card. Like Pot of Greed, like, yo. That's iconic, man. Shit, my bad. I just got a nostalgia hit. Just awesome, man. Awesome, awesome. You know, I appreciate Konami for reprints like these. They took too long, in my opinion, but better late than never. Better late than never, they say. We have Chaos Sork. You know, just coming down here to around 3s. That's where it's been consolidating here. The walls are at 326s. Beautiful. No excuse to not get exposure of a playset of this card at $10. You need to understand that the only other holographics were an Ultra that was like $200-300, and then the Legendary Collection Super Rare that was clean. It was like between 15 to 20s, hard to get. And now we have a Starlight Rare for $10 for a playset. I don't care if you don't play boomer formats. We're talking about making money here. There's no way this card is not double digits in the future. Over a year, 2 years out, it has a Starlight Rare. I don't see this card getting like an alternate art Chaos Sork. No. So it already has a Starlight here for very, very cheap. $10, especially if you're a collector or you're a boomer like me, nostalgia. Pick up your Chaos Sorks. $10 a playset. If I see them in a binder, beautiful. We have massive walls of China at $10 a playset. No excuse. You pick it up. Me, if I go to Anaheim, I'm gonna be looking for another playset. My goal is at least an R09 with this card. Just beautiful, man. I need to make like a whole new binder, you know, just like boomer binder, you know what I mean? And just put, you know, the Pot of Greeds, the Chaos Sorks, and just all the other beautiful boomer cards that are coming in here, guys. Very, very cheap for Chaos Sorcerer. We have Senjingen, Wakes from a Millennium. This card V-shape recovered from $2 all the way to 4s. Wow, and after that wall of China, you know, it starts keep on going, man, towards $5. So this prismatic is getting harder to pick up. It's becoming more scarce. The demand is coming in, and yeah, wow, insane to see how it has rebounded strong off the lows, but now it's kind of retracing back down to the mean. We see if we get more walls here competing in the short term. But yeah, there's a $4 card, so if you pull this prismatic, don't be like, oh, it's trash, it's worthless, you know, it's the Millennium card no one cares about. Nah, I mean, this 4 is pushing 5, so don't sleep on this prismatic secret. Definitely keep it in mind. We have Shiny Sarcophagus here. It's around $2. Not bad at all, guys. This card was always like money. It was always 15, 20s, 25s, and now you have it at $2, down 10x essentially. You pick it up. You see these, if you can pick these up in trade binders, I believe this could 2x in the short term and become a $4 to $5 card. And in the mid to long term, maybe even double digits, guys. So don't sleep on the Sarcophagus. A lot of hype around this deck or this deck archetype, especially because of the DMG, Sarcophagus card. So don't sleep on it, man. Don't sleep on it. We have Verujas, the final bringer of the end times. This card has V-shape recovered from $1 billion some change all the way up to 350s, guys, where you see it here. Again, the max you want to pay for a place, and not that you would need a place, but an R03, one for you, one to trade, one to sell in the future. Not bad at around these current prices. Yes, it has rebound. Hopefully we get a retracement back down to the mean, some type of maybe double bottom here in the next week or two, maybe having another shot at lower prices, but definitely one that you want to keep in mind that has potential of becoming money in the future. We have Rescue Ace Hydrant. This card right here is shekels. Not bad at all. You have a couple of, one-off deal at 50 cents, but really the card is $1. Actually $1.39. So again, as we talk about a lot of these Starlight Rares, if you can squeeze any of these penny stonks into your cart, not bad at all, man. Not bad at all to play for the long term. I think Rescue Ace are getting support in the future as well. So Hydrant is an iconic card of the deck core, and it's a card that always has retained value. So as shekels, you pick them up at around $1. You want to get exposure. Don't let it creep up 40% up to $1.40 and beyond. You want to pick it up as cheap as possible. Then we have Millennium Ankh, same deal. Excuse me, guys, same deal at around $1. $1.08. Beautiful. 78 listings. You pick this card up at dollars all day, every day. Easy work, easy money in the future. Again, Millennium Ankh at a bone for Starlight Rare is too cheap, man. Too cheap. I expect this card to at one point become a not double digi, but it could, but a multiple Billy card where today's $1, in the future could be 2 to 3s. No one would blink an eye. So keep it in mind. Penny stonks. Love it. We're always looking for the multiples. If you get 10 of these at $1 and it's 2s, you have $20. If it hits 3s, you have $30 worth of trade value. You can move these if you're not interested in this That's the game, the name of the game, man. Easy money. We have Yugioh, the loving defender forever. This card was shekels. You come here and it was 72 bones. I'm sorry, like 3/4. That's what it was. Now it's $1. So it's up a whole whopping quarter, which most people are like, wow, man, it was 75 cents and now it's $1. Boo hoo. It's up a quarter. It's up 25%. Yes, it is. It's all about them percentages. So now if you come in and even get it at $1, which is still cheap, just $1, right? You're paying a 25% premium. Most people probably without realizing it. So 92 listings here. The card is essentially at $1. Not a bad one to pick up. If you can, before it, goes to $1.50, maybe 2 bones down the line. Definitely a nice little starlight rare to keep in mind. Red Rose Dragon with the support coming, same deal. A lot of these starlights are at shekels. They have walls of China. You don't necessarily want to break the bank, but you do want to get exposure if you're already ordering stuff from the tins. Just a nice little Red Rose Dragon right here, especially with the a Rose Dragon support coming around the corner. We have Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, same deal. You can pick these cards up at shekels, at around $1. It should age very, very well. It is a Blue Eyes extra deck card, so not too much to say about it in its Starlight rare form. Blue Eyes, man. Blue Eyes players don't play. They need their cards. They're going to come in, pick it up. So you want to get exposure right now at around $1 for Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. I was like, Thailand. I'm like, who's that? But again, it's not all about coming on here on TCG Player and just straight up purchasing the card. Sure, if you feel like you need to do that in your situation, that's fine. But if you're trading at locals or you're going to events and you see this in a binder, at the very least, just get exposure anywhere from 1 to 3 of this card. Then we have Dark Hole. Again, Dark Hole has always been a card that comes out at shekels and ends up being $1 and beyond. So right now, look at that. You had a somewhat of a V-shaped recovery, now retracing back down to 50 cents a pop. Not bad at all. You come over here at 2/4 a pop, pick it up. You can be up 2x in the future, and the game is truly that easy. This card is iconic. It's actually played in one of them boomer formats because I needed it for one of my decks. And it's just an iconic card in Yu-Gi-Oh as well. As a prismatic secret rare is more scarce than people give it credit for. So you definitely want to keep it in mind if you want to get your exposure at shekels before eventually down the line becomes ability. We have Dragonic Diagram. Again, True Dracos are making a comeback in the sense not the end all be all. Oh my God, the meta True Dracos. No, they're probably still trash, unfortunately, man. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of J's out there. A lot of people that want to remember those good old days for us and get exposure to this version of the card. I'm going to play my first set OGs just because of the nostalgia, but I actually prefer the prismatics when it comes to actual rarities. If it wasn't because it's diagram, I'd probably be picking this up too. And this card, V-Shape, recovered from 38 cents, says all the way to $1.23. Wild. Right here, 57 listings. You have a couple here at 62 shekels, and it quickly goes to 90 cents and eventually to $1. Man, those euros probably look nice. I might have to switch up, from my first set OGs. But yeah, man, very, very interesting right here for this card that is actually rebounding strong due to the True Draco hype. Not hype because it's going to be meta relevant, but hype because of people like me that nostalgia. We love the deck. We're coming in, picking up our cards. So wouldn't be surprised to see this card actually reach $1 in the short term, going from shekels to Billy. So just one to keep in mind. Then we have Fire King Courtier Okanix as an ultra rare. Wow, this card has just been rebounding strong. You do have massive walls of China at around 250. Then eventually the walls move to 3s and beyond. So 39 listings. Anything under $10 for a playset of this card, free money. Anything under anything under $10 for a playset of this card is free money. This card in the future could easily be worth $5 and 2x from these current prices down the line. So this is an ultra rare that you just pick up. You see it in a binder, throw it in the trade stack, pick it up, because this is great future money down the line, easy peasy. Then we have Light End Sublimation Dragon and Dark End Evaporation Dragon. Just a couple of these that you want to keep in mind. For Light End here, the card is around shekel. You have a couple one-offs here and there. The card, massive walls of China at 43 cents. Not bad at all, because after that, it starts going into the 60 shekel territory. So just get exposure. If you need the card and you don't have it, you come in here and you get it, because these ultra rares can definitely be $1 down the line, going from shekels to billies. And same deal with Dark End Evaporation Dragon. Went from 88 cents to $2. Massive crash down, 50% from the highs here. At around $1 as well. So you can pick these up at around $1. I think these age very, very well. You do not want to sleep on this card. Great artwork, great effect. especially with you know, by the time Burst Protocol comes, this is the max rarity. I think this card is going to see play some way, somehow. You want to have Light and Sublimation Dragon and Dark and Evaporation Dragon, especially if you see these in trade binders. You keep an eye out for those cards like a hawk. Guys, if you made it this far out into the video, you guys are straight MVPs. Man, make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video on the way out. Would gladly appreciate it as we continue to grow, and you don't want to miss out on the latest spikes and dumps here on the markets, guys. So make sure you tune in, man. Make sure you share this in one place in a group chat with some friends. It really does go a long way, man. Each and every single one of you guys are just straight MVPs. Guys, thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your attention. Stay fresh.